Well, I think you're going to do great. I want to go back to when Darla and I had breakfast with you at Boca Grande, and it was a beautiful dining room, and it was quite large, and there's only a few others in there, and we thought we were going to talk to you about some kind of sensitive matters. It's like everybody can hear what we're talking.
And I was yelling as well.
No, before you showed up, I said to Darla, I wonder if Tucker has an inside voice.
No. Talk to my many daughters about that. Lower your voice.
But we got kind of in a deep conversation about, guys, what we're seeing today is light versus dark, good versus evil. This is spiritual warfare. And what we're facing as a country right now, a lot of people say this is the most important election of my lifetime every 2 years.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people happen to believe it for 2024, that this is the most important election of our lifetime. How do you explain?
Well, I'm clinging to the hope that elections still matter. I really want to believe that because I'm American in a very fundamental way. And so I believe in the actual mechanics of democracy, like the people should rule, you know. But leaving aside even elections, I think it's clearly a pivot point in history, and I don't think the issues that we debate and really are in some ways distractions are the core issues at all. I mean, there are forces, unseen forces, acting on people. It's funny, in February, I was like trying to think about what to do for Lent. I'm not a particularly faithful or virtuous person, but like you're trying to do something. I already quit smoking, so like what's next? And I thought, well, I'm just going to read the Bible. And no, I'm not going to do a Bible study. I'm a Protestant, so I feel like I have a right to kind of read it myself. And I know, I'm sorry, I feel that way. And so I've been reading it since February, and I'm like about halfway done. And I haven't talked to anyone about it, and I haven't just been myself reading it. And I have all kinds, it's like the most interesting thing I think I've ever done. It's unbelievable. The amount of drama in those books that has been hidden from me as a regular churchgoer in the Episcopal Church. Like, wait, why didn't you ever mention this? It's like unbelievable. What? But the two things I have come away with after reading the entire New Testament, and I'm up to Deuteronomy and the Old Testament, is with the exception of Jesus, every figure is like really flawed. Like flawed in a way where you'd be like, I don't know if I can be friends with that person. You know what I mean? Abraham enters Egypt and he's like, oh, it's my sister actually, take her. What? I was saying to my wife, who was a religion teacher, I was like, what is that? And she's like, maybe the point is that God takes people who are not perfect people, not only not perfect people, like they're so imperfect again, I don't think I can have dinner with them, and uses them for these grander purposes. That's the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed is that people, while they have free will, of course, and they can make decisions and they live with the consequences of those decisions, they're not really in charge of the arc of history at all. They are being acted upon a lot, okay? And I never really appreciated that because I'm American, and so I grew up with this feeling that we're the sum total of our choices. And that's not what I'm reading at all. People's choices matter. You need to do certain things and not do other things. On the other hand, you are not in charge. You are being acted upon by a world you can't see. And that, by the way, is consistent with my life experience. Like, I've seen that, I've lived that, I'm 54. And so I feel like it's really important to approach politics with that in mind. Like, a lot of these issues are symbols of this much larger battle. And the final thing I will say is I do think we should approach these questions with humility.
Amen.
You know, we don't always know. I was at dinner last night at 801, which I strongly recommend. Surprisingly good lobster, kind of weird for Iowa. Like, is this from the coast of Iowa? No, but it was good. But anyway, we were talking about candidates, and I was eating with someone who's a Christian, and I said, I can't tell if this person is a tool of light or darkness, you know what I mean? So we don't always know, actually, at all, and we should always admit that. You know, I've got very strong feelings about all kinds of issues, but it's so important